A program they have there at Harwell. It's called the Kelso program. And I like this program because it really helps a lot of students avoid fights and how to handle situations and difficult problems that might arise. So I'm going to ask Sandy to describe exactly what is Kelso. I'm going to show this poster here so parents can see what exactly the students see down the halls, and explain a little bit to us what exactly is Kelso, Sandy.
Okay. Kelso is a conflict management program that we use to help children solve problems, because some problems are small problems and some problems are large problems. And this gives them some steps that they can follow to solve the problem. They have choices. They can pick a choice that they think will solve that particular problem. Now, if it's a situation where you really feel threatened, Elizabeth, what do?
You can tell the teacher.
All right. Because if it's a big problem that an adult needs to solve, then it needs to, you need to tell a teacher or another adult.
Sandy, how has the school used this with students as far as to train the students? How do y'all train the students?
Okay, first of all, we started out with teacher training so that all the teachers were familiar with the program, and then the counselor did training sessions in each of the classrooms. Each student also has a smaller version of this chart that they keep, so that if there is a problem, they can pull out their little chart. They can go with the student that they're having a problem with or whatever and use one of these choices.
Okay, very good. So the faculty went through a whole training themselves so they can become familiar, so they in turn can show the students. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And how long has Kelso been in Harwell?
We've had Kelso for about 3 years.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of successes have you seen with the students when they use a program such as this?
Well, I've seen lots of successes. I know the other day I was in a second grade classroom, and I saw some children that got up and went to the back of the room, and they were having a problem who was going to use some crayons and markers. And then they talked about it and talked it out and decided that one of the best things they could do was to share. So they went back to their seats, sat down, and shared the materials.
So you actually seen the students use a program, and so they learn from this, and they can just go back and refer to maybe the chart or something, and just kind of like, hey, and instead of fighting, we can possibly work this out and share the crayons, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most of the teachers have a display in their room, and I just brought some of the cards that are in the display from mine. Rather than a Kelso chart, I have these where they can make a choice. For instance, if this is a problem, they can share and take turns, mm-hmm. which is like the one I just talked about. One of the choices is to ignore, just ignore it. Walk away. Sometimes it's best just to walk away from a situation.
Okay.
Tell them to stop. I don't like this. If someone's picking at you, Elizabeth, sometimes you just tell them to stop. Yes. Okay. Apologize. Sometimes you have to be the one that says, I'm sorry. Wait and cool off, because if you're really angry, maybe you can't solve it right then. Go to another game.
Okay. Okay, no, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Talk it out. Sometimes if we just talk things over and talk it out, then we can solve it. And make a deal. Sometimes you have to make a deal. And these will solve small problems, but if they're a really large problem, then they do go to an adult.
So the students have a variety of choices they can choose from, so they in turn can just make the choices and see what works best for them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Let me ask Elizabeth. Elizabeth, how have you used the Kelso?
Like somebody was pushing me, and I told him to stop.
Very good. So you just flat out told them to stop. Very good. I noticed you have a friend with you, and who's this friend that you have?
Kelso.
This is Kelso. What does Kelso do?
He helps you solve problems.
And how do you use him? Does it teach other students about the steps that you could take?
Yes.
Okay. And do you actually use Kelso maybe with younger students? Do you train the younger students how to work with Kelso and teach them how to work out some of the problems? Sometimes. Okay. Do you find Kelso very helpful, Elizabeth?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think you'd maybe use it when you get older?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, ladies, I want to thank you very much for being here today and talking about Kelso and how this wonderful program can be implemented into schools. I'd like to say thank you very much for having the Guidance Gang be part of your day. And I'm hoping that we all learned a little bit something about maybe what we can do in case we get into a situation. Sometimes we can just walk away, ignore it, or make a deal.